Good evening, everyone. We are back on the Bronze Series 4th tournament on the Asia server. We are following GV tonight. The Bronze Series format is going to be round robin in groups, and each group can have as many as 8 teams. First and second place will receive a Gold Series ticket, and third and fourth place, according to the development, they will receive a Gold Series ticket as well. It seems Wargaming will remove the Silver Series, and as for the Gold Series format, it will be the same, but Silver Series will be removed, and Gold Series there will be more cups allocated. So each group can have as many as 8 teams, and games are spread across 2 days. And this is the timeline, and this is the schedule, and we're going to begin in around 4 minutes. And here is GV's team. We have Berlin as the captain of the team, Professor, Tokyo, Monaco, Nubbage, Doha, don't know what happened to that name right here, it's a rename user, Capricorn, Yoga, Govinda, and Sail. This is still my top 8 guess. I will have it unchanged. Although Der is actually a huge contender for top 8, but I believe the seeding of Der could be a problem. But other than that, I'm still fairly confident that these 8 teams will be our final 8 teams in the Asia top 8. So all the best to all these teams, and I think the room should be up. Okay, so before we continue, I'm actually going to show you the groupings. This is showing. Ooh, it's not really showing. Hey, there we go, it's showing now. Okay, Group 1, we have Evil D Feast, PGMTRI, NQE7. Oh, actually no, I'm actually going back to this graphic here. It's going to be Evil D Feast, GVHLV, NQE7, PGMT, and RI. This is going to be the Group 1, and it's pretty much a group of death, and it all depends on the final 4th spot. Group 2, the same as well. 9V DTG Der, IDRN, Salmon SQ. I don't think Der will have a big problem in securing that spot, but 9V DTG and Der will be looking for that, will be fighting for that spot. Group 3, we have Omega, BBEA, ECG, E7 King, and UI. As always, the 4th spot will be an important spot, but I believe Group 1 is the hardest group out of the 3. So let's actually go to the tournament room. Yes, it's going to be the case. Hopefully more people will join soon. Okay, so HLV, they're going to be playing with Serviceable No in the E100 probably, but I think they will still need some time to ready up. So let's go for GV first. Berlin as the captain of the team. We also have Professor in the biggest light. Double T135 by Yoga Govinda, and Monaco, double crown by Doha and Nutridge, with Tokyo in the IS4 alongside Berlin. HLV is now ready with Serviceable No, not in the E100, but the Crown Wagen alongside From Abyss. Double IS4 by Sorte and Enjoy Solo Q, and double T135 by Kogyu and Lap Behind with Safe, T Cern in the biggest light. Vignettes, as I said, all the time, very open and undulated, rugged, so you will be expecting a lot of medium and hold down tanks here, and this is typical, the lineups you're seeing on both teams. perhaps not quite so for GV, double IS4 and also HLV as well, double IS4, but it has good turret and also frontal armor, and it also has alright mobility, so we will see. And it's how both teams are going to operate. Actually, both teams are taking an identical lineup, which is really interesting. Believe now. Hello, how are you doing? Right. Well, let's head up high, shall we? HLV, red team looking to go into B potentially. GB, blue team, North Spawn will be looking to go into A, and presumably these tanks here they're also going to be I mean the middle area. So that's actually follows Professor for a moment here. He's going to the spot to this bush, hoping that some HLV tanks are going into C, but it seems it's not the case, because HLV will be going for the northwestern area. And shots been fired. Monaco has taken some hits and left behind. It's has also taken a hit, but Tokyo as well. So in terms of hit points, HLV has dropped some hit points. Berlin is going to hold down in this position probably, and I think more shots been fired from Abyss, and same as the Crown Bargains holding their hit points are still are with GB at the moment, but B is going to be captured by HLV, and I don't think GB will be getting A, so they won't be only able to get C. But if Professor gets C, will HLV make a move to get aggressive though? Because HLV hasn't spotted that Vickers Light. They know there are fire tanks there. Presumably they spotted Tokyo early on, so they know that they have 7 tanks all over northwestern corner, but they aren't making a move just yet because they know that could be a problem. But if I were HLV, I would probably rush down the bridge and shut down Berlin and not reach out game, because they are relatively uncovered. But at the same time, HLV are dropping more hit points, and if they keep on dropping hit points, it will be difficult for HLV to receive a push from GV. Actually, HLV doesn't have to make a move to shut down Berlin, but not bitch. It's just a little bit of an aggressive call, to be honest with you. But I say it couldn't work out. It's actually GV that needs to make a move. As we can see, GV versus HLV. Let me double check if the audio is here. I have a feeling it's here, so it's fine. No stream issues, as I presume. HLV dropping even more hit points, but GB also dropped some hit points. So both teams dropping hit points left, right, and center. So as I said, I think HLV want to defend nicely. They still have a B cap, but if HLV moves backwards, GB might be pushing their line aggressive enough to get A, and that could be a big problem for HLV. HLV is now not training as good as GB. They are now down by almost 1,000 hit points. You see Professor here potentially going to farm them off. And as you can see now, because HLV kind of backed away, GB is able to get A without lots of trouble, so HLV would need to now make a move. And they are now under 1,000 hit points, so Tokyo is in actually a lot of trouble. He's actually isolated, but at the same time GB is going to rush left behind and KOU. And I think now HLV, they need to shut Tokyo out of this game, and they need to get a focus fire right, because GB, they are leading by more than 1,000, almost 2,000 hit points. This is not looking good for HLV. Left behind is now killed, and we are also seeing Berlin getting tracked. HLV needs to get a focus fire right, and so far Berlin is not getting killed, and it's killed by KOU. It's now 6 vs 6. Hit points still with GV, and Enjoy Soluki is going to go down in any minute. And with Tokyo, the focus for HLV, it's, I think, focus fire practice for both teams. Enjoy Soluki is now killed. KOU is now killed. Professor is killed. That is an important kill. Safety so is looking to get into C, because GV has 2 caps. I don't think he wants to go for C though. And HLV will be looking to get A, and this is still really close to call. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to abandon C at this point. Toki is now dead, Sorte is now dead, GV still leading by a lot of her head points here, but they are also leading in caps with Yoga Govinda now dead. Safety Sir will go to C, and it's going to be 3 versus 3 now. So temporarily, HLV will be doing a 2 versus 3. B will be captured by GV, and Xavier soon capturing C. That would signal GV to push off drum members and Seven Soul quickly before Safety So gets C. So this is a very, very a dangerous move by HLV, and they need to regroup nicely. The Crown Bargains are working together, and that is a big problem. GV got B, and they will win by caps here, and it's going to be the case. GV leading 1-0. Great job to GV. The mid-game stage is the reason why they won. They chipped away hit points of HLV just enough. They also pressed their line up front. That meant HLV had to pack away, and they can't reset A. In the end, GV punished HLV, I think, for being a little bit too defensive. And to be honest with you, HLV is defending an open area too, so it's going to be hard for them to do so. I would have loved to see HLV actually pushing down the ridge, because they have quite a lot of information at that time. They could have shut down 2 tanks very quickly, and it could have been a totally different story had they done that. But it is what it is. HLV also, the last minute, the Crown Bargains aren't working together. They are doing a 2 versus 3. They are working together. As you can see, GV are able to focus down the tanks one by one, and I think that is an even bigger mistake for HLV, and in the end, it's going to be GV having it 1-0. You don't have any rewards for guessing the right outcome. Here we are. HLV will be looking to have 701 and remember it's double Crown, Ball Saucy and Joyce Luke, double IS4, double T135 by Koya left behind Safety So the biggest line. GV on the other hand will go for the tanks that we're going to be seeing soon once again. So you're jinxing HLV. 77% of you are thinking HLV will win this one. We will find out soon. GV, Berlin and the IS4 double Crown by Doha and Nutbridge, triple T135s by Yoga Govinda, Monaco and Tokyo Professor in the Vickers Light. Okay, so GV will be using the speed boost. Nutbridge using double speed boosts. I think that's a waste of a consumable slot, but you never know. Safety Zone will be getting A, and at the same time GV will be getting B, but HLV will be committing their tanks to C. They want the cap point advantage with 10 cap point of increase per second. This will pressurize GV, but it seems GV came prepared. Morsauce is trying to get C, but GV, are they able to put another shell in? Or are they going for A? Here, HLV doing the usual stuff, defending from behind, looking to reset A whenever GV commits to A. HLV now has C as well. I actually love the North spot. I think North spot is a lot more advantageous than the South. GV has the cap. GV does not have the cap lead, and HLV has the cap lead on A and C. And GV needs to make a move as soon as possible. It seems double T125s are very quick on this. They're trying to distract the Crown Bargains, and that would mean Professor can go into A unhindered. That could be a great idea for GV's T125s. They are trying to push, but not quite pushing. and that distracted Crown Vargas, allowing GB to steal A. But at the same time, the T125 also dropped so many hit points. So actually, it's not terrible news for HLV. They lost A now, but they are able to put a lot of shots into Yoga Govinda. So I think HLV will sooner or later make a counter push, and they are now doing this. Seven and Yoga and From Abyss are both pushing onto Yoga Govinda. Yoga Govinda is going to go down, and he's down to a one shot, a very low roll by 7-1 though, however. And Yoga Govinda is going to reload, but it's not going to be the case. From Abyss kills off Yoga Govinda, and it's going to be 7 vs 6 for HLV. They are leading by more than 2,000 hit points. Meanwhile, GV is going to push onto C. They're putting their speed boost on there. But Berlin takes a big chunk of damage trying to go into C, trying to cap it. And it seems GB are so desperate of the caps, they pretty much forgot that they don't have a lot of hit points as well. Ball sort of get absolutely smacked by GB's forces, and it's going to be Doha finishing Ball sorting out. A is going to be recaptured by HLV, and the rest of the forces are looking for Nubbage, and they are going to be looking for Monaco and Tokyo. It was a very disjointed GV's team this time, with Flappy Hide going to be killed by GV's forces. He's dropped the reactive armor, so that will buy HLV crucial time to push onto Tokyo and Monaco. From Abyss bouncing on that shot. The focus is on Monaco now. He has lower hit points, so Sevosono is coming in. He will reload his third shell. Oh, but he fired his third shell somewhat prematurely, and he's now on drum reload. GV still not out of the fight yet. HLV, they have the cap points now because they got both A and B, but it seems the focus fire from GV is cutting the mustard, but it's probably not the case with Monaco now dead, and From Abyss also dead. HLV now pushing onto Berlin. This is the tank that HLV wants wanted out, and Koyu almost reloaded. They will get Berlin, and A is once again getting captured by GV. HLV are very close to winning this one, but if they lose the tank, it can be a totally different story. And Doha, he wants to kill a tank, and I think he's looking for 7-1 now, and he kills off 7-1. That is so important, but the cap stops on C as well. HLV the kill on Doha will seal the game for HLV. HLV almost threw this one away, to be honest with you. GB wasn't doing really well, in particular the double T125's brilliant idea right here to distract the Kramwagens, allowing Professor to get A, but they dropped so many hit points, and that allowed HLV to make a counter push, and they must be very smug about that mistake here. But the second mistake would be committing too much onto caps, and you can see Berlin, although doing more than 3,000 damage, it forces GV's tanks out of cover, and HLV are able to put a lot of great shells in. HLV got almost got undone by their lack of focus fire in some situations, and some tanks also went out of cover when they don't have to. So hopefully HLV will avoid making these kind of beginner's mistakes, and we are now going to be going into Descent as it stands 1-1 for both teams. HLV versus GV, this is exciting, and this is why I'm following the Asia server in the Bronze Series. Okay, around 30 seconds left to go. That's a sense. It's a very brawly map, so I think this could benefit GV. GV, from my impression, has really good focus fire, and HLV, I think they are better with their skills. So this is going to be an even fight. I'm not from Wargaming, so I can't review your bans. So you need to take it to Wargaming if you got banned for no reason. So now we're going to be seeing HLV, double IS4, double Kran, double T125, and the biggest lights. Meanwhile, GV would take double IS4 or triple T125s and Vickers Light. You can see how similar both teams are taking in terms of lineup, and already Safety Zone spotting the rest of GV's forces out, and they are committing their forces over to the desert side. Only took a hit with Knob Edge here, and HLV are also putting their tanks over to the desert side, so it's a classic brawl fest on desert sands. So this is what we want to see, and it's all about skills at this point. Professor will be getting A at the start, and whoa, HLV be able to reset A. Professor knows he can't stay A for too long. He knows what happened last time on Faust. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want that. Want to relieve that moment once again. Relief. I mean, that's the right pronunciation. Relief, not relieve. Relief. He doesn't want to relive that moment. So, Safety Zone is now going to put his tank. I think he does not want to go for C though, because if it's going to be the case, yeah, it's definitely not going for C. If HLV goes for C, that would mean GV knows that they have a numerical advantage. They will start pushing, so you don't want that to happen. So let's actually look at Safety Zone for a moment. He will be seeing Berlin's backside, but he's also very mindful of getting spotted here. He is spotted now, so GV now knows that the Safety Zone is flanking from behind, and HLV knows where the tanks of GV are. Professor and Monaco might be looking for Safety Zone, but HLV hasn't made a move yet. They are still relatively passively, but it seems now the double crown and the double T125 are pushing their line up, and GV are now going back. Safety Zone can try cap C, but I don't think that might be the best idea, because as I said, GV would know they have a numerical advantage for quite some time, and Professor has stopped chasing Safety Zone. Hit points are still with HLV, however. GV aren't trading very well at the moment, and Joyceluk is in the advanced position, so he has to be really mindful about that position. And meanwhile, HLV are now looking to make a push. They're looking to shut down Yoga Govinda and trying to perma-track Yoga Govinda. Series of Wallows coming in, but Yoga Govinda fixes his tracks just in time. And Joyceluk would be the focus for GV, so the GV focus fire is now shining here. And Joyceluk is going to be taken up by GV. And we are also seeing Yoga Govinda stay behind, so it's actually GV coming out on top in hit points, and they need their focus fire now. Doha will be looking for a Joyceluk, and Tokyo will be looking for Lab Behind instead. Both teams aren't doing the best in terms of focus fire. HLV have put it closer now. Tokyo is now dead, so we can't say which team is going to win. It seems GV are now putting the tanks onto Koyu. Yoga Govinda is going to get rushed by HLV, and he's going to be killed. And Koyu is finally killed by Professor, and it's going to be 5 versus 4. Hit points are still with GV, but the gun advantage is with HLV at the moment. Burn is now dead. Doha bounces their shell to left behind. That could be costly, and a lot of shots been fired onto Doha. Left behind is now dead, with Professor still really healthy. He's looking for from a miss, I would say. It's a miss once again, so they can't miss so too many shells here. Hit points in neck and neck. It's still really closely called, but Doha is now there. Professor is coming from behind, and he kills off Boa Sorty 3 versus 2. But Professor is now down to one shot from Abyss. Can kill Professor. Oh, but it's a miss right here. Safety so can't afford to miss that, and he kills the Professor. That leaves now Monaco, the last person standing. Not the best focus fire from both teams, although GV had the right focus at the start. It petered out very quickly, and that allowed HLV to kind of regroup themselves and find isolated tanks of GV, and that meant HLV came out on top 2-1. GV, the lack of focus fire in the mid game stages, and the lack of concentration cost them this game dearly. Despite HLV hustling onto GV's defensive forces, it could have been a great opportunity for GV to punish HLV for the hesitation, but it wasn't to be the case, and it ends. And it will end HLB 2-1 against GB. So well done. And we are going to reload this page, and let's see the results of other results of other games. Ooh. Okay. Feast won RI 2-0. PGMT lost to NKV 7-0-2. Meanwhile, we have RN 2-0 against Salmon, DTG 2-0 against SQ, ID barely won against 9V 2-1 in the end it is. UI 2-0 against Omega, EA 2-0 against ECG, so the ECG slump continues. E7 2-0 against King, so ECG definitely needs to pick up their pace. They started so well this season, but then an upset against 9V occurred 0-3, and it seems they aren't getting back the mojo so far, losing to EA 0-2 now. This can be bad because they are in the relatively good group. So I have a bad feeling about this. So the next clan we're going to be facing will be no one, so we will have a lot of time. So I'm going back to the EU server and I'm going to play some matches, and I'll be back in the third tour, because I have to do some missions. So the next one is in it's in 5 minutes, I think, and yeah, our next game is going to be in around 30 minutes, so I will go back to the EU server, so bear with me about that. Okay, I'll pick a tank to play then. I will go for I'll go for TDs actually. Well, actually no. What missions do I need to have to do? Well, actually, doesn't matter. I'll play in encounter. I'll torture myself in with TD. So I'll begin with T110E3 first, and then I'll go through the list. This is the right one. Oh, we got a spammer here. Hopefully Nightbot's going to do something. And that spammer stopped. I'm spotted. Oh, gorilla. Oh, got heavily smacked. I almost got it. Yeah, I'll go for another tank then. Oh, we have lots of gorillas. That didn't hit. Might want to do something from back. So I actually might have an eye on that E100 potentially. Oh, we lost the share. Oh, I got hit from my right. How did he reload? Faster than I do. Oh, I'm in trouble. Oh yeah, he has the gun that was not upgraded. I am in deep trouble though. It doesn't seem E100 is able to penetrate me. Now that E100 should be a one shot, so someone send help, please. Thank you. There we go. Brilliant. Now we should be able to win this one now. It's normal that you get focused. This is how you win the games. You need to focus fire. If you don't focus fire, the other team's not doing a great job. So don't complain when you get focused. They are doing the right thing. Hello, Treadhead Pete. How are you doing? Oh, Hori's coming. There we go. More than 4k, then it's good amount of damage I'm doing. I mean I have bad form in T110E3 lately, so that's actually good damage that I'm dishing out at the moment. Oh, they only tracked me. They only tracked me. That Hori has moved back, so E95E6, you're next. But yeah, they definitely would look to dodge my shots. So I think it's going to be someone else that's going to pick up the kill, not me. But I'm happy because I got more than 4k. So not that happy though. I mean a YouTuber. So T110E3, yeah. I need to get my hands on this time once again, but I did fine in this one. So next, let's go and play some more tanks. I have to win 3 more. I still have some time. Okay, we got new development here. Wargaming has officially announced that all the cups earned in the Silver Series tournament would be removed. So that means the teams who participated in the Silver Series would not get cups. So I feel really sorry for some clients like Duh and so on, but it is what it is. So. Okay, Asia 7 is not that much affected. Feel bad for Wild. Wild, the PGMT, UI, and also BB. But I mean BB not that much. They only lost only like 2,000 cups, so that's not going to affect that much. But if you we can look at the new table now. Now that all the cups of silver are removed. And the Asia server, it will be as follows. So that means definitely the top 8 hopes will be pretty much over now. There we go. This is the new table. Top 8 still the same, but RN and DGG are back in the 9th place, E4D in 11th, RI in 12th, BKG 13th, NQE7 14th, Wild in 15th, but they are below RI, DTG, and NQE7 by a lot of cups. Yeah, PGMT and DIR are currently out of top 16. I don't know how many more cups will Wargaming give for the GOAT series, but they probably would like to increase the gap between the team that got knocked out in the quarterfinals and the team that go all the way through to the finals, and that could also be my weighting system for the later days will probably be changed. So especially for any server, some teams actually commit themselves to the silver series just to get more cups than gold, than they do on in participating gold. So any server got affected the most in this respect. Not quite so for the EE server, because from my power rating, only Phoenix is the only clan that is not in the Gold series. So I have to say, actually, Kraken Esports will get more cups in the end. We'll get more cups. We'll get fewer cups than the leaderboard is suggesting. So if I show you the new leaderboard for the Silver Series, for the EU server as well, with the Kraken Esports. I mean, they will have the table same as I do, but as for NA server, this is going to be interesting. Let's look at the new table for the NA server now. Because there are only 8 teams on any server, the gap between the 8th and the 9th would be really big.
they want from me. They take my hands, washing them in dirty water. Try to find what's right in a distant place, so far away. The silence fills my heart with empty space, but now I'm sure of where I'll go from here. And tensions rise, they push me to divert my vision, but I will break the ceiling and the walls that kept me in for all this time, and all the reasons that I cannot find. Don't wait for me to fall under that pressure. Don't wait for me to give it up. Well, I will not work against the forces I trust. Have to stay.
Okay. I'll show you the table of the any server to show you how big of a gap it is now. This is it. This is it. 8th place and then 9th. Okay. 0.
I will do my best to keep myself composed.
Yeah, there's one more team participating in the Gold Series, if I remember correctly. Well, I might have the.
They can't tell me what is right from
Oh yeah, straight participated. So let's give cups back to straight then.
mind and my ability.
So now it looks like this. So
That it would be this hard. You can't force.
So that means if you look at the table here, the 10th placing team and the 11th placing team, the gap between that is a lot still. It's more than 4,000. So I believe Wargaming, if they want to change the number of cups earned, they need to take into account this, and they need to kind of I mean, the first place for the second day needs to earn at least, I would say, 6,000 more cups than the team that got knocked out in the first round, which should be the same as what happened in the previous skill tournaments. They can pretty much use that format to calculate the cups. We'll see how it's going to go. But it has to be like that. Can't see other way up. And here we are. Let's continue play some games. Oh, thank you, Stain. Continue to watch. All right. No, that's not looking good for me. That's shot right here. Oh, they're pushing right. Oh, I have to leave this. There we go. I will get absolutely focused down there. Can I hurry up? Thank you. Down to one shot though, so they have to start pushing. Super conk. Come on. Oh, a bounce that I desperately need, which is really good. Yes, they got this, and I'll turn my tank backwards. I mean, I don't know what I meant by that, but and I'm gonna kill that FE4202. Or why is the what? How is that E100 freed? What are you guys doing there? 4 tanks that you set E100 free. That makes no sense at all. I don't know what you are doing, but at least we are winning, so that's more important. How did you let it happen? And not taking a lot of hits. So what tanks are you guys aiming at that point? Thought that E100 was so obvious that was an obvious target. Don't know why you picked the other one. Anyway, they're now looking at an E100, so it's good they're going to kill that. Let's drop the spore line. He has a spore liner, so they have a spore liner, so it's better than nothing. With oh, that being said, now it's dead. Yeah, it looks a little bit grim at the moment. Great shot here, great. I mean, that spore liner is really doing the job. Yeah, it took them some time to kill that E100, and I'm not really confident that. I mean, IS7 is still really healthy, so we have to rely on IS7. Thank you for subscribing, Christopher. Ooh, Vegas Light it's running away, leaving IS7 behind. What is IS7 doing? Go for IS7, not Vegas Light. Oh dear, go for the other tank. Oh dear, don't pick the. Oh my gosh, what is that Vegas Light? Oh, what is the Vegas Light doing? Oh, why are they going back to that IS7? They could have just run away and it would have been a draw for them. Don't know why. They just went back. Does that IS7 have some sort of magnet that kind of attracts these kind of stray tanks? But at least it's a win, so I have done something. I need to kill one more tank, but I'm not going to get that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to miss that, so I will go back to the Asia server. Oh, thank you, Stradley. Okay, let's check the results of other groups because the second round is over. So we're going to wait for the third round, and the room invite should come in very soon. Okay, E4D won RI 2-1, Feast won NQE 7-2-1, and HLV 2-0 against PGMT with Group 2 we have the 2-0 against Salmon, RN 2-0 against 9V, and ID 2-0 against SQ. Pretty much Salmon and also SQ are like filler, somewhat like filler teams. Sorry to say that, but it's pretty much the case. Second tour, we also have BB beating UI 2-1 and an upset here. UI for some reason didn't quite show up. I mean, that can be an important match because they have to beat King next. Pretty much the next obvious opponent. ECG won against King 2-0 and E7 2-0 against Omega.
Promise me you'll get me through. Just tell me I can do this too. For everything we fight to never lose.
Okay, the room is up. Let's go in. It's gonna be E4D versus GV. Yeah, so many things are happening at the moment. Where is my file? Here we go. Okay, so we are on 4th Despair, which is going to be a really heavy oriented map. But as I understand, I think it's better than, I mean, as for wargaming, I think this solution is slightly better than the previous one, because the main problem is those clans got extra cups with Silver Series. Don't know why they can't just remove certain teams, the second teams, for the cups, the extra cups they earned. So for despair, GV, double IS4 by Berlin and Tokyo, Professor in the Vickers Light, double T125s by Yogai Govinda and Monaco, Doha in the Crown and Nubbage in the Mouse. Meanwhile, we have E4D going with Adamant in the E100, Troublemaker and the Mouse. Arrive in the Vickers Light is another Arrive actually. Terra in the T125, Lucky and Futetayo. I don't know what it means in Japanese. Double Crown, Caffeine in the IS4. Yeah, but I still think that Pokemon just kind of I don't know, they aren't facing the bigger picture, but I mean they aren't really fixing the root problem. I don't know what it is. There we go. Fourth despair. E4D, who have E100, an IS4, Double Crown, a Mouse, T125, and Vickers Light. On the other hand, we have GV going with double IS4, a Crown, a Mouse, double T125, and a Vickers Light. So let's head up high, shall we? E4D Red Team North Spawn with GV Blue Team South Spawn. And arrive in that Vickers Light is going to spot a lot of tanks going into a GV. I mean, spotted very early on, and look at Arrive. He will get a lot of information for E4D's team. Spot up Knob Edge, but it seems GV has gone to the blind spot. He spotted up Doha as well. So actually I thought E4D would obtain a lot of information, but they didn't in the end, because GV hit themselves really well. Trouble Maxer actually. In that Mouse took a little bit of hits. So actually GV is leading with hit points, not E4D at the moment. And B will be captured by Knob Edge. That can be important here. We are seeing also Futatayo Lucky dropping the speed boost. Also with Caffeine less, receiving a ton of hits. B is now getting captured, but at the same time E4D now flanking, looking for Knob Edge. They're going to put a lot of great shells into Knob Edge's hit. Is it going to be the case? At the moment, not really. Knob Edge is getting hit by Caviness. So now Hitwood still with GV. They also have the cap. So all GV needs to do is just stay alive. And it's a lot better to defend both A and B, because you can hold down really nicely. But Knob Edge is in that position to size Grape. But Terra actually is in a decent position, so GV kind of rotating to C could be a bad idea. But at the same time, E4D has dropped so many hit points, and it has become a little bit difficult for E4D to do anything now. Adamant is now very isolated, so GV is now going to focus Adamant all of this game, and this will surely go to GV. By I don't think EvoD can make a comeback here. Great job to GV, and EvoD's positioning are very questionable in this match. They isolated themselves pretty much, but they are now pushing on to middle, and they also dropped so many hit points at the start. We are now seeing B going to be captured very quickly, but GV still with 7 tanks, 2 full hit points, but 2 full HP targets, and EvoD now losing Lucky as well, down to Doha, and it's going to be 5 vs 7, and GV are now looking for Terra, or is it Caffeine Nest? They need to pick up Caffeine Nest. It's an easier target for GV. And they would like to save Berlin as well, but I don't think he could be able to do so. Yoga Yavida is now dead. Monaco will be looking to kill off Futitayo. That will be killed by Professor instead. And it leaves now 3 vs 5. Don't think EvoD can achieve any miracle here. Arrive now going to be killed by GV's forces, and it's going to be Professor that makes the kill, and Terra is going to be next tank down for GV, and with also EvoD Trouble Maxer, the last person standing. This game is a very convincing win for GV. Well done to GV, they're on a match point. And it's a bounce by Novich. There we go. GV secures a great win against EvoD. At EvoD there are Trouble Maxer did more than 2k, GV 6 tanks did more than 2k. And we are on to the second match on For Despair now. Okay, alright, For Despair, we're now seeing EvoD, triple T125, a mouse, an M6O, a Crown Wagon, and an IS4. GV are in good form. Double IS4, I think it's like double T125, a Crown, and a mouse. So EvoD has to do a lot better, not dropping too many hit points at the start. And they have to, you know, and they have to, you know, be more grouped together. GV is doing fine at the moment. Don't know what else to say, but let's look at this match. Here we are. Been quite distracted by and here we are. There we go. EvoD will be on the south side this time, with GV on the north side. Terra dropping the speed boost. And they will be looking for spots. He's spotted up Doha and Novich and a few else, with no medium ball light tanks for E4D. Doesn't really matter for Despair anyway, because it's not a big map. But GV has a Vickers Slide, so he might be able to flank around and get spots up for Evil D. That could be a dangerous tank. Evil D would not like to underestimate GV. Professor ignores C. Great idea here. Spotted himself. So I think with that, I think Professor will be looking to go into C potentially. If you say no, Evil D knows there is they have a numerical advantage. Evil D, I don't know what Berlin is doing right here. He's just advancing too far forwards, and he just got focused by E4D. Suddenly, Berlin becomes a free real estate here, and it's been taken out already. Doha is also very low now. It's suddenly that mistake by GV has inspired E4D to make a great push down the middle side. Adamant in the ice won't last too long because it doesn't have the reactive armor. But more to do now with Nub Edge. Doha is now dead as well. Hit points are now with E4D by more than 2,000, by almost 2,000. And E4D bounces so many shells onto Nub Edge at the moment. They have to take out Nub Edge because he's still an isolated tank. But Nub Edge bounces so many shells already. And that means E4D, originally with a solid hit point pool advantage, Nubbish with that mouse bouncing so many shells is now neck and neck, and Nubbish finally dead, but at the cost of a lot of hit points for Evil D, and this is pretty much the reason why GV is still a really good clan, because their individual skills are a lot better than the Evil D bunch, I would say. Not to say that it's easy to penetrate the mouses at all, but frontally it's a bit difficult when you also angle up your tank. That can be a big issue. We are now seeing E4D still hang on, but it's going to be a 6 versus 4. Hit points, cap points are with E4D because they have 2 guns up. E4D, what they're doing now, they're just going to stay in hold down position. Great shots onto Tokyo, great background by Trouble Maxer, and Trouble Maxer needs to put a shell in, but he's going to be taken out by Tokyo. Great shot into Tokyo. Now hit points are now back to E4D, but they also have Futetayo, a one-shotter. Yoga Govinda still full health. So Yoga Govinda will be looking for Futatayo, and if Yoga Govinda can kill Futatayo, I don't say Futatayo is looking the right way. He is killed by Yoga Govinda, and Professor is now also looking for Terra, but I think he's now he's now going the wrong route. He gets ram killed by Terra, and it's now 4 versus 3, still really close to call, but Arrive is a one-shot, so GV definitely will be looking for Arrive here, and E4D still has the advantage with the guns, but in terms of hit points, not quite. And there are now 2 one-shots for E4D right now. Yoga Govinda will be looking to pick up Lucky and Arrive next. Arrive needs to stay alive. Great kill onto Tokyo, and Arrive needs to put a second shell. Monaco is going to close in. Caffeine needs to pull back. Great shot, but it will be killed by Monaco. That leaves 1 versus 2 now. What a comeback by GV, and E4D can't capitalize on that major mistake by GV, and GV was able to stay alive, and it's now 1 versus 1. Around 2 minutes left to go. Caffeine Less needs to bounce a lot of shots here, and he can't afford to bounce any shell, and that bounce onto Monaco. It's not going to be helpful at all. Monaco will make sure that shell will penetrate into Caffeine Nest, and certainly E4D doesn't deserve to lose this one, and GV really got away with this game. If it had been another team like Feast and so on, GV would definitely would have definitely lost this one. But for some reason, E4D, they bounced so many shells, and they also lost quite some hit points. They kind of got a little bit too comfortable in the end. And we can check the shot effectiveness right here. Arrive doing a good job, but Terra bouncing, not penetrating 7 shells. Lucky also not penetrating 6 shells. Caffeine Less not penetrating 6 shells. Utatayo, not penetrating 4 shells. Adamant, not penetrating 3 shells, and Trouble Maxa, not penetrating 4 shells. I mean, E4D, almost like half of their shots didn't go through to GV, and that could have been like an extra 16,000 more damage, and that could have been that could have been a lot different had E4D penetrated all of their shells, and GV Berlin with a terrible mistake there, and Doha also losing a lot of hit points. And I think Nubich just bounced so many shells right here. Received 6 non-penetrating hits. This is the mouse, the power of the mouse with a lot of hit points and with a lot of armor. So I mean, E4D could only focus the mouse in that situation, so it's understandable, but could have been a lot better. Also, I think E4D are quite nervous as well, so hopefully they can regroup themselves. They still have a long way to go, in my opinion, and here we'll be seeing now.
You can't force it, but you'll play your part. So I will run until I reach the end, and who knows where I'll be. But all I know is that we'll start again.
Hello, Tosh, how you doing? We'll wait for around 12 minutes. Let's look at the results of other groups. Third round it is. GB won against E4D 2-0. We don't have result yet for RI against NQE7 and Feast versus HLV. But the third tour, we know that 9B 2-0 against Salmon, RN 2-0 against SQ, and Dur 2-0 against DTG. That is an important result for Dur. If they win another match, I mean it will not matter now because Dur is down by so many cups. Basically, if they want to get into top 8, they have to hope that some clan miraculously did not finish the top 4, and I would say RI would be the one. But even then, there were 8 teams in the. I mean, there were 14 teams participating in the Go Series last time. So PGMT has to overcome like 6 or 7, like 7 clans in order to get into top 8. So chances are teams below 14th position are all out of contention in top 8 unless Wargaming is able to tweak their cups so that the clan that finishes first and on the second day will get a lot more cups. Group 3. Now we're going to be seeing King hasn't played in the third round. EA 2-0 against BB, E7 2-0 against UI, and ECG 2-0 against Omega. No surprises there. And King, the next game, it will be on EA. But I think the most important game will be against BB. If they beat BB, they will get into top 4. And really, I would say that the hopes of BB and UI will be definitely out. I mean, they will definitely be out of this, surely. Okay, we'll wait. What is the clan that we're going to be facing next? It will be PGMT. So GB versus PGMT will be the next opponent we'll be streaming. I'll play some games on the Asia server. I can't be bothered to go back to the EU server, so let's do this then. Treadhead Pete saying great comeback here, but I think it's really more to do with EA bouncing so many shells. It could have been a nail in the coffin already with Doha losing so many hit points and Berlin getting eviscerated at the start. I mean, GV's positioning isn't really the best as well, so E40 pretty much threw that win away, in my opinion. Yes, got it. Thought it would have. I thought it could have derped, but anyway. But I think credits to GV for not panicking at all. It could have been the case for other teams. Then hand. Well, this is not going to look good. Oh dear. Oh, we're going to lose that D54 lightweight soon. So yeah. Yep. Got a tank car. Just go to where we are currently. There's a TD to my right. Oh well, this is really not looking good. Oh dear. Our team was not good. That was terrible. Oh well. That was not good. Yeah, I think the rule should be up very soon, so we'll go back. And let's see if we have results for other matches. Oh, RI won against NQE7. That's an important result for them actually. RI do be coming through at the moment. They still have other clans they need to beat, but they can't beat. They didn't beat E4D, so that can be a big problem. But we have to see whether E4D is able to beat NQE7. If they beat NQE7, then RI and the NQE7 would not get a ticket. But if E4D lost, both RI and NQE7 would definitely get a ticket. Feast versus HLV. HLV won against Feast 2-1. So HLV is doing really well tonight at the moment. And we know the result for the third tour for the third round for Group 2 and for Group 4. E7 2-0 against UI ECG. I mean, we know that already, I believe. Room invite is up. Let's look at the final. Let's look at the final match on cam now. I do believe some teams will not. Well, I mean, I think it won't happen to Asia server. Probably it's going to be between Wild, PGMT, DIR, and UI, and maybe some clans that do not qualify to the next Gold Series. I do believe some teams have more than one Gold Series ticket, so I might be wrong about this. I'm going to check actually. Some teams have Wild has a Gold Series ticket at the very least. PGMT the also has a Gold Series ticket, if I remember correctly. I have to double check. PGMT definitely has a gold ticket, so Dur has does not have one. And you and at the moment they're ranked second, and they just have to be in the top 4 in order to get the Gold Series ticket. So they can't lose to clans like DTG and Dur, and they won against the DTG, so that's a good start there. They don't want to lose to 9V as well. And also SQ and Salmon, the obvious ones. As for UI, don't think they have a Gold Series ticket, so pretty much if UI can't get top 4, top 4, which they lost to BB, if they don't win against a clan above BB, then I would say pretty much UI's hopes in the top 16 are over. We also have NQE7, DTG and RI. Let's see about NQE7. Do they have a Gold Series ticket? I mean, they used one already. They used one already last time. And they only have one, so they must beat. They must get into top 4 in order to continue. But they lost to RI, so they must beat E4D, or maybe will be some clans above E4D. Then they probably can stand a chance. And the next opponent they are going to be facing will be E4D. If they won against E4D, that means it will be E4D, RI, and NQE7 getting the Gold Series ticket. We only have 1 minute left to go, so let's go back. And for DTG, DTG at least got 2, if I remember correctly. So they don't have a lot of pressure in getting another Gold Series ticket tonight. Is it right? Am I right? Yes. No. They don't. They spent a Gold Series. They actually have to get a Gold Series ticket tonight. So the best way, so DTG has to win 9V at least. If they lost to 9V, it could be a problem. But 9V also has to win, because if they lost, they don't have a Gold Series. So at least one clan would have their top 8 hopes dashed. It's either 9V, NQE7, or the 9V, NQE7, or DTG. We are now on to Canal. And last but not least, we said about RI, and we said about E4D as well. But it's going to be really interesting now. GB will take double IS4, a crown double, a triple T125 Victus Light. We have PGMT. Okay, they're just not taking it seriously. I would say they're going for lots of mediums, but let's hope we don't see what has happened to APA. So they can't be boarded. So maybe they can win something out of this. They're going to get C. Oh, they're just going to push through. Oh well, they aren't even trying here. I think it's just Wargaming has. Well, to be honest, I don't think you should kind of do that first, because Wargaming might have a change of mind. They're just pushing through. They're just rushing onto B, and Komeiji has taken a lot of hits right now. Lost keys as well. So GV, don't think they will lose this one. PGMT just lost so many hit points. The focus fire also isn't there, so they will lose rename user though, and they lost keys and rename user. So that means it's now 6 vs 6. And Itzwa has lost so many hit points. Tokyo is now dead, and we are seeing also Monaco dropping the reactive armor on fire as well. PGMT actually is not out of this yet. They have a lot of DPM with those medium tanks, but Catfish also really low. Komeiji is going to be next tank down. But it's actually Sukuna, which is the next tank down for PGMT, and they're looking for Nubitch next, isn't it? Komeiji is now killed, and it's now going to be 4 versus 3. And yeah, I don't think it's a really good idea to punish clans that participate in the Silver Series. It's really not their fault here. And Nubitch, great shot into Weibo. Thank you. Thank you for your donation, Spartan. There. Yeah, are coming for top 4. Wait, but you're using plural as well. So are you saying Wild is going to come to top 4 too? How do you use IS3? Don't get too aggressive. Well, don't go out in the open and pretty much side strip and use your armor here. And Professor almost calculated that right. The turret almost landed on Professor. And GV, 4 tanks doing more than 2k, and PGMT also 2 tanks doing more than 2k. But I do agree with the grievances of PGMT. I do believe the clans that participate in the Silver Series need to be changed. And yeah, it's just the chat exploded, so. So I do see that a lot of I do see that there are lots of I mean, we probably will see a lot of clans not bothering with the remaining tournaments at all, particularly any server. I mean, some of the usual top 8 clans, I think they would not participate. They would not show up at all, because why would they do that? Which I understand. If they decide to drop out, I respect the decision. Would be a good thing to allow other clans to get into top 8 and get that pro avatar. But GV will take triple T135s, double eyes for Akron and the biggest light. Meanwhile, we're seeing PGMT, WTBs, an Object 140 double Sheridan, a T125 and a TVP. Yeah, PGMT is definitely not happy with this change. And they are really salty about this. And Berlin is asking them to shut up. Which I agree. I mean, we got your message. We know we know that you're very angry, and I think and I agree with you on that. I do think it's I think they are really going against what they said early on. They don't want to deduct the Silver Series Cups because, well, PGMG is just going through and they're just going very aggressive. They are not taking this seriously anyway. So I don't know why. I think they're just disguising the fact that they can't even deduct the cups of the teams that send 2 teams in gold and silver respectively. And yeah, PGMT just doesn't have it. That doesn't have any of it. So yeah, they love me for playing medium tanks. Yes. Well, I don't blame them for this. I think really Wargaming has messed this up terribly. It's also completely different to completely different to the situation we saw on in winter season with one particular clan. This is this is a form of prototypes that I can completely agree with. And yeah, I really hope Wargaming is going to change their minds on this one, because clans like PGMT, and so on and so forth, they don't deserve. They don't deserve to be treated like this. 9V, Wild, BB, and PGMT. No, 9V is in the GOAT series, so that doesn't count. Clans like PGMT, UI, Wild, and BB do not deserve to be treated like that, getting their cups taken away and down by thousands of cups. And basically no hope for them to get into top 8 now that top 4 will get Go series, will get the Go tickets. Not even the smaller server, not even Asia server. Not even the Asia server. Not even the smaller server can allow teams that are down by thousands of cups to get back into top 8. It doesn't happen like that. So I really hope Wargaming is going to reconsider their actions. Good. I hope they will change their minds and they revert to what we all suggested. Just remove the cups of the teams that send teams to both gold and silver. Yeah, I do agree what's going on with. I do agree with PGMT. The protest. I do agree with their idea here. Doesn't matter if my stream is going to be ruined. It's a totally different situation than what happened on Footage stream with APA. It's a form of protest. I completely agree. I said that clan not now, but the other one is just basically, Wargaming didn't do something, didn't f up as big as this, and they just simply don't bother to play seriously. And in some situation, they just grant a technical victory. So to the other team, this is a totally different case. So for those of you who would like to group these two situations together, don't, because they are totally different. This is a form of protest which I am completely side with. Absolutely no situation that these 5 clans are getting the treatment they deserve. Any server got hit the most. I could see clans like Hated and Pincer not playing this season at all, dropping out. The schedule is too hectic. Why would they spend like another week or two playing every single night to get nothing in return? It doesn't happen like that. The world doesn't work like this. I believe any server, potentially a lot of clans will drop out. EU server not quite, because only Phoenix got affected. But for the CIS, I don't think CIS server will be affected a lot. But for the for NA, well, Asia server, probably not, because the clans that you're seeing here, they are also looking to get into the top 16. So it's going to be a fight here, and is still playing seriously as I am seeing right now. So unless they also see this mockery, I mean, they are in top 8 in the power rating. They have the ability to get into top 8. I don't know. Might drop out too. So for me, I think any server would get hit the most, and any server might just simply abandon this season entirely. So so end of my rant. Yeah, well, I mean, you guys are spamming in the global chat. I mean, I do understand some. I mean, I understand like Berlin sees it as annoying though. I mean, not everyone is as considerate as me. So, um, imagine you just keep on saying the same thing over and over again. People will get annoyed by the fact, by that fact. So, I mean, but then I do agree with what PGMT is on about. So E4D versus NQE7, they're still playing. GB 2-0 against PGMT and RI losing to HLV 0-2. We're also seeing Der 2-0 against 9V. DTG still playing against ID. So Der definitely are not giving up. Them beating 9V surely will be securing a ticket for the Gold Series. So I really admire Der for not giving up. If they can get top 8, that can be a big achievement for them. Salmon 2-0 against SQ, so well done to Salmon. They're doing really good. They're doing good in this match. I hope they will get better and better in the future, because they have a team that likes to play tournaments. So if they want to commit their time to tournaments, I do think they have the players. They just have to train their skills, and I do like their mentality. I mean, they don't drop out when they keep on getting thrashed by clans above them. So hopefully we will see Salmon performing well in the future. And E7 won against BB 2-0. EA still playing against King, and UI still playing against ECG. But this will be important. If E4D lost to NQE7, NQE7 would get another point. And provided that all these three clans beat PGMT, which there is a possibility. I mean, NQE7 beats PGMT. If PGMT beats RI, then yes, E4D would not get a Go Series ticket.
I don't understand what they want from me. They take my hands, washing them in dirty water. Try to find what's right in a distant place, so far away. The silence fills my heart with empty space, but now I'm sure of where I'll go from here.
Okay, so end of my round. I will stay for a little bit more. We'll wait for the result of other groups, and then we'll end the stream then. Okay, I'll play one match. We'll go to, okay, we'll do that, Conqueror.
Time to roll out.
Ooh. A lot of tank sports. We go. Now we do some bounces here. Not really. It wasn't really that close, to be honest with you. Oh. Yeah, did some damage, so let's go back and watch. Let's see the results. And here we are. NQE7 beats E4D. This gets a bit exciting. So potentially PGMT, if they don't play like what they did tonight against GB and play against E4D, Feast and also RI, they can deny two of the teams hopes in the top 4. Because at the moment, if E4D, RI, and NQE7 lost all of their remaining games against GB Feast and HLV, they will all finish 4th because NQE7 won against E4D. They lost to RI, however. E4D won against RI, but they lost to NQE7. And NQE7 and RI won against NQE7, lost to E4D. So, Group 1, we might see 6 Gold Series tickets. As for Group 2, we will be seeing their 9v, 2-0 against 9v, so we already know that. DTG beating ID 2-1. Great job to DTG. And that means DTG now, they are in trouble. No, ID, they might be in some sort of trouble. If they can't beat 9v here, well, I mean, that could be interesting now. Now that DTG won against ID, they lost to DTG needs to win 9v, and if they lost to 9v and 9v lost to ID, these 3 teams would get 3 points. Would get the same number of points, provided they lost to both DE and RN. Then they will all get a Gold Series ticket. As for Group 3, we saw ECG barely beating EY 2-1 and EA beating King 2-1. So that means King remains to be at the foot of the table, and UI is not giving up despite I mean, they are pretty much looking for top 16, so they are still fighting for that spot. I think the top 16 fight will still be on, and the top 8 fight will still be on. Asia server will still be competitive as before. Yeah, but we'll have to see what's going to happen. If PGMT is looking for top 8, then maybe this is a good time for them to stop. I mean, they went to challengers before. I mean, they would also want to try things out, but if they want to take a break, then absolutely they can do that, and they can just stop the season and take a break. So I think while I mean I feel really sorry for if they are looking for top 8, they want a miracle, and it will mean they need to beat some of the clans in the top 8. Well, they have to beat them consistently. Constantly. Is it going to be possible? Looking at the gap, it's around 10,000 cups of difference, so this is looking really confident. Anyhow, this has been me while it's happening tonight, and thank you all for watching this stream. And I'm sorry for my